Hey, folks. Well, we're not in good moods today. Jim and I will tell you why. We're going to discuss some of the results from the elections that happened across the country. We'll get into some of those details. Also, on today's show, a Dem Congresswoman tells Black people they're dumb. A little more about that. I can't wait. I haven't heard the story, so I can't wait to hear that. Something a little concerning was hidden into Biden's infrastructure bill. We'll go into some details on that. Then the military is raising their minimum age. That plus so much more. Jim on a very pissed off edition of what?
Two guys, one coup.
I can tell you're mad.
Kind of went with the mood. Yeah.
You're depressing.
Welcome to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim, where the truth matters and progressives' feelings don't. We bring you the facts from the perspective of two average, everyday guys who will never apologize for being America first, for adhering to our great Constitution, and for saluting the flag that our brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And now, here's Dale and Jim.
It's kind of funny that when you and I talked earlier, we both had the same idea, and it was kind of. So I think we're both feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. We are both feeling it. That is for sure. Okay, we'll get into it. First of all, like, follow, and share on Rumble or however you want to do it.
Yeah, follow, like,
please do that. Yeah, please do whatever it is you do to do that on Rumble. We would appreciate it. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate that. Hope Patricia didn't piss everybody off. If you didn't hear the special bonus episode this week that we released, please go listen to that. It's kind of who we're dealing with out there, and folks, people's mindsets, and that's who they think of. I mean, that's their thought process on situations like that. Before we get into some of these election things, Jim, they censored Rashida Tlaib, which means nothing.
I was reading up on it. It's like
means nothing.
You know, it's like, remember when you got in trouble in school, and you just got in trouble, but you didn't learn anything from it because nobody said anything to you. You just smack on the wrist, and you did it again because is that all I'm going to get in trouble for? Cool.
Is that all I'm going to get? Gee, you're telling me that we have now censored you. Stand up in front of everybody. Shame. Nothing.
Can you imagine if Jim Jordan would have stood up?
I know.
And did a Heil Hitler. What do you think? What do you think would have happened?
Well, what should have happened?
He should have been fired. He should have been removed. And he should have. So she does it, and there's people defending her right for speech, which is she has a right to say what she wants.
21 rhinos voted not to censor her.
She has a right to her speech. I agree with that. However, she made a statement that what Hamas uses to get rid of Israel.
The Jews.
The Babylon
Democrat, Jewish, Hebrew.
The Babylon Bee had a good story about it.
Oh, did they?
They said she remember how she came out and said that it was just a getting together group, just
of course
proud, and stuff.
Of course.
So the story was in there.
Like the Third Reich was.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. Heil Hitler, because Rashida Tlaib believes that it's just a love of German.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, the Babylon Bee is classic anyways. But anyways, it means nothing. So good for you. You guys did it, and that's great. She's not removed. She's still allowed to vote on there's nothing that happens. She's not suspended. She's not any of that stuff. So you can say what you want, which is again, that is the free speech in this country. So that's fine, but not for our elected officials in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, because what she's
America last, and she's all about the annihilating Israel.
I mean, what she said was the equivalent of Heil Hitler.
It's the equivalent of it.
I mean, and then did you hear what they were chanting, the people out in front of the White House?
Oh, Jesus.
Allah Akbar. They were chanting that.
Yeah.
The thing that the 9/11.
You know what they say right before they kill you? Kill the infidels? That thing?
And you watch that. Yeah. And you watch what happened. You watch. They still can't get the red paint off and nothing.
They're pressure washing it.
They were throwing things at the Secret Service.
That is correct.
I can't. I'm speechless. I can't.
Free Palestine.
I can't.
What is Palestine, by the way? People?
I will never.
Oh, no such place.
See, what everyone seems to forget is Israel gave Palestine the Gaza Strip. They didn't have to.
Well, it was the right thing to do. They should just give them the whole thing, right? Shouldn't they just give them the whole thing?
That's what the Hamas and other terrorists and people.
Because then there wouldn't be terrorism. Yeah. I mean, we heard this argument.
I do like what one Britt. Remember Katie Britt?
From Alabama.
Yeah, the senator from Alabama. We loved her when we were talking about her.
Yep.
She was on an interview last night, and she said it best.
What?
There was a ceasefire. It was October 6th. They did. This had been a ceasefire, and that is why I love that woman.
I know. Yep, there was a ceasefire.
There was a ceasefire.
And then October 7th happened.
And so now they want another
ceasefire
one.
Over. Yeah.
And the good point of it was the comments were being made is that, okay, so let's do a humanitarian ceasefire. That allows Hamas to rest, to retool, to refocus, and attack again. Yep. No, they can't do it. Israel is not going to allow it.
Cut the head off the snake.
And I really want truth in reporting. I want to know how many Palestinians are actually being killed and how many. And I want it done from a reliable source. Okay? Because right now, if I hear one more thing, I don't know. 10,000 Palestinians and 4,000 of them are children.
Come on. Bullshit. And you know that 30% of their rockets they fire land in the Gaza Strip. They don't even make it across. So they're killing their own anyways. They don't care.
Well, they don't care.
It doesn't matter.
You saw where they had the rockets in that Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Remember the Boy Scout little camp, whatever they had it? The bunker? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all fake news.
Yeah, and you should have seen all those fake tunnels that they were in.
Fake tunnels they were in and all that. The hostages being that were released, those were just fake stories. It's all been debunked. None of that's happening. Diplomacy is the only answer here. We must all get along, hold hands with hostages with terrorists and kumbaya.
Well, Dale, let's get into what really has pissed us off.
Okay, this is what really pissed us off. We got into that. You're right,
and
Jim.
We'll get into it. Yeah,
we'll get into it, Jim. So let me ask you a question. How is the economy doing? And I want serious answers, not our joking around. Oh, it's doing great. But how's the economy doing?
It's doing horrible. The inflation is up, gas prices is up, food prices is up. Anything, electric energy is up. Anything you buy, anything that you need to purchase is up. It's on the high. It's on the rise.
Okay, I got more questions for you.
Go ahead.
How are foreign affairs, do you think, going across the world at this point?
The world's exploding, folks, and it's between the Ukraine, which wasn't a problem 4 years ago, and now Hamas attacking Israel, which wouldn't have happened 4 years ago, and Iran is getting more powerful.
Yep,
scarily more
China's
powerful.
Flying their jets real close to our.
Yep, the world is messed up. It's completely
the world's messed up. So the economy, the inflation, the housing market, how's that going? How's the cost of buying cars? How's the
border?
So,
the border.
Yeah, and the border. So how's the border? That was the next question. Terrible, right? We don't know who's coming over. We don't know that. So it's all about abortion, Jim. None of that matters. None of that matters. It's all about killing babies and when you're allowed to do it or not allowed to do it. That's the only thing that matters in this country. I'm telling you, and I know I'm not speaking to our audience, or I'm not speaking to you, and I'm not speaking, but I'm telling you, Americans are stupid and they fall for this shit. And that's what happened in the elections yesterday. Jim, do you want to add anything before we go on?
One real quick thing, and I hope it's not part of what you were going to do, but
maybe I'll jump on it. I don't care.
My thing is, this is a perfect example of the media withholding the proper information.
Correct.
With the people who are not going out and getting different sides of the story.
Yep.
Because they don't they don't realize that everything's on fire because they're not paying attention.
Yep,
that Jewish man who was killed by that megaphone.
Yep. The NBC saw how they reported. Man falls, hits his head.
Hits his head.
Jim, I know what you're going to, I mean, we share the same frustration here.
Yep.
Between the Democrats who are golden at getting their message out. Don't get me wrong. They're really good at it because they stick together and they say, but they have the help of the media. Yep. You know, they're cronies in the media, and that's what gets portrayed to the general public. You know, more people are watching ABC, NBC, CBS than they are Fox News, Newsmax, OAN combined, all of that. Right. So that's the message they're getting. It's about abortion. They're taking your rights away as a woman. You are not allowed to have one. You will die as a mother before you're allowed to abort that baby. If you're raped, you must have that baby. If there's incest, too bad, you're going to have that baby, you know, and remain pregnant. It's a bullshit story that they keep saying and saying and saying. And the Republicans are the shittiest messengers I've ever seen.
Terrible.
And I blame this on Ronna McDaniel, the head of the RNC, again.
Absolutely.
Again. She's an idiot.
You know? Have to be able to get the conservatives and the rhinos together. You have to.
You have to. Yeah. Finish. I'll let you finish. I'm just pissed.
No, it's okay. So when we finish now there are some. All right. There are some Republican candidates. Even Mike Pence said it on one of the last debates that federal law banning abortions. Yeah. Folks, that's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
You and I have the same feeling. We do not want it used as a form of birth control.
Nope.
We flat out don't want to. The mother's life, rape, incest, even though those are small percentages of them.
My God.
And now rapes, if the rapes are reported, they get the morning after pill, and you don't deal with that anyway.
Correct.
And so I get it. It's out there, but we got to have these. Now, you and I have gotten to the point where we believe it shouldn't be used as a form of birth control, but if we all want to come to an agreement where no more than 15 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Because there's reports coming out now that the baby feels the pain after 15 weeks. Which I think they probably feel it before that. But anyway, but so we can come to an agreement.
And a life is a life.
Okay. Now, I haven't agreed with Sean Hannity a lot here lately, but Sean Hannity has been pushing this, as has Nikki Haley.
Yes.
And it's getting into the point where, folks, Republicans have to come together. Yes. Would we like to see no abortions ever? Yes, we would like to see that. It's not feasible, and it's killing us.
It's killing.
So go ahead and go into what.
No, you're absolutely right. It is killing us there is no way. So you take Virginia, for instance, okay, who a couple of years ago historically won the governor's race with Youngkin, what is it? The assistant governor? What did they call him? Lieutenant governor. And then the Winsome Sears, what's her title?
Lieutenant governor.
Attorney General, isn't she?
She was lieutenant.
Or no, then they had the Attorney General.
The Attorney General.
Who was, also, like he was Hispanic or something, right? But it was Republican.
Something like that. Yeah.
It didn't matter, but they had Republican and then they had control. Mm-hmm. And now they have lost all control. Mm-hmm. The House and the Senate in Virginia. I mean, big swings. We're talking about,
Big swings. And
big swings.
The sad thing is, going into it, Youngkin was confident they were going to keep the House and take the Senate.
Yes,
that was the chant. They believed that was going to happen.
They believed that was going to happen. And why were they led to believe that?
So, guys, the two biggest things there, education
Yep.
and abortion.
Yep.
Abortion beat the shit out of our kids' education.
It sure did.
Because that's how Youngkin and everybody got elected.
That's right.
Is because of Youngkin's stand on
education and parental rights.
And that was what was the fight, parental rights, because he can't get his bills passed in Virginia because of the Senate, because they're liberal.
Yep.
So what these individuals have done,
yes,
okay, abortion has now gone above everything.
Everything.
I can't. I can't
figure it out either. I mean, and it's a.
And Republicans stop saying abortion bans all around. That's what cost the governor in Kentucky. All right. He's very bright, up and coming. His name's escaping me right now.
Oh, I got it here. You go on.
Up and coming. And he was very, I liked him. Now, again, he was a McConnell guy, which kind of, questioned some things. But anyway, because McConnell was good at one time.
Daniel Cameron.
There you go. Daniel Cameron. And he lost. You know what he lost for? His stance was complete abortion.
Complete abortion.
Not even for rape, incest, or the mother's life.
Correct. And sorry, guys, you can't. This can't happen.
I know you feel that way. I know
it. So do we.
But here's my take.
The
woman's life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch my wife die because
I'm not either.
I have no way in hell is that going to happen.
No
way.
Mm-mm.
Now I met a guy a long time ago at my previous employer. I met a salesman who said, if it was God's choice to do that, who am I to say? I'm like, oh my God. But that's his right. That's his belief.
His right.
That's how he
and
stands.
It's a state's right to decide whether they want to go. That's what we wanted. We wanted it to go back to the states, like Ohio. Now it's on the Constitution. They haven't decided on the date, I guess, right?
Right.
Like what the time frame is. But it got voted to be on their Constitution.
Abortion rights in the state Constitution. That's all it is, folks. So don't sit there. No one won. The Democrats are out there saying, we won. No, because it is not a bill or a law that allows you to abort the child up to that is not what it was. It was put abortion rights in the state Constitution. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So now they have to decide what are the limitations.
On the time frame.
Yes.
So it could be a win for them.
I doubt.
It's a win for them.
No way is
Ohio, a little bit.
No way is Ohio going to let up to the birth. No way.
You tell me. No way did I think what was going to happen yesterday. Now Kentucky, I'm telling you,
he's popular.
Their Democratic governor has been decent for Kentucky.
Yeah, they're happy with him.
They're happy with him.
Did you see this? He is the most popular governor in the country, even more than DeSantis in Florida.
They are talking about him running for president soon. But anyways, as Gavin Newsom's numbers continue to dwindle because of his shadow campaign.
Did you see him in China?
Oh my God!
When Fetterman figures it out and calls you,
Fetterman can figure it out. My God, anybody can. So let's look at, Jim, some of the biggest winners and losers of yesterday's election. The losers are the Republican Party in general.
Yep,
that's it.
We have got to get together and figure this out.
They saw when they kept Tate as governor in Mississippi. That was close.
Yep.
So that was good for them, huh?
Yeah, closer than what I thought it would be.
No. Well,
they won by a lot, but it's still.
Again, it's abortion stuff.
I know.
It's Southern.
Isn't that scary?
You're gonna have to come to the realization, folks, that is a hot ticket item, and the Democrats and the media are very good at getting that message out that they want to take every woman's right away. That's it. That's the message they say, and they stick together, and that's what they're doing. And Ronna McDaniel has no clue on how to combat that at all.
Nope.
So in case people don't know, she's head of the RNC. So yeah,
I would have thought she would have been fired.
The one who failed during the midterms on the red wave is still there doing nothing.
Think about in the history of elections, everybody. When George Bush, when he was touting the housing market, but behind the scenes, Republicans were, this isn't right. Something's going to happen, and then the housing market crashed, and then that brought on the great one. right? That's how we got stuck with him, is because all of that happened. Republicans took a bath we lost everything during that time, because by right, when the economy, remember how they're always saying it's the economy, stupid.
Yeah,
when the economy tanked, Republicans all across the board were demonized, and it's your fault. It's your fault. Same thing with Democrats in previous elections.
Yeah.
The economy is terrible, because that's one of the reasons why Trump to Hillary Clinton. Nobody trusted Hillary, but the economy wasn't great.
Yeah.
Every instance except now.
Except the midterms and now.
Because the midterms, we were predicted to. Remember the red wave? You and I were so excited going into that, because we thought, holy shit, supermajority and possibly winning back the Senate. Oh my God, this is going to be. And
worse.
We were sweating up until the final votes were counted, and then we eked in the majority.
Yeah. I mean,
the economy is tanking, but the Democrats are still winning.
The border is absolutely like Swiss cheese down there. Fentanyl's coming across this border. Terrorists are coming into this country. They've admitted it, and there's nobody cares.
Illegals
the voters of Virginia cared more about abortion than they did any other issue. That's ridiculous.
We have illegals coming into this country and be given housing, money and housing, and we have homeless veterans that are just left to rot.
Correct.
Not even doing anything to help them.
And yet, abortion is the topic and the hot.
It has to be, right? I mean, am I missing something here? It has to be.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
They can't run on anything else, right? So they know they have to deflect that with what the Supreme Court did, which was just simply giving the states the rights. That's fine. And then you've got governors in those states now, that are either saying, okay, well, we're going to have a 6-week, a 12-week, a 15-week, or none at all, right? And they're proving that is just the hot topic item. And Biden and all the other buffoons now are going to come out, and that's what they're going to talk about. They're going to talk about this. I mean, it's a win for the Democrats yesterday, guys. That's it. And they did it because
even though they lost the House, it was still even though they lost the House in 2022, it was still a win for the Democrats.
It sure is, because it's a referendum on what may come. Right? It's a clear indication, which tells me polls are bullshit. Polls are bullshit, because the polls in Virginia didn't predict this, and I'm telling you, they have. Now, people will blame it on redistricting in Virginia, right?
In some cases that could be, but still.
Okay, but who let them do it? There was no fight. There was no pushback. There was no, I don't care if it was Pennsylvania or Virginia or wherever they redistrict, which they have tried everywhere, there's no pushback or fight. And guys, if you don't replace somebody that has balls as big as church bells for the RNC to run the RNC, this same shit's going to happen next year, and it'll continue happening until the Republicans get some nuts to them. It's ridiculous.
We talked about this earlier about 10 minutes ago, but I'm going to bring it up one more time.
Yeah.
The reason why Youngkin, Winsome Sears, and the Attorney General, the top 3 positions within the state, turned to Republican was because of, again, the parents' rights bill, right? The parents' rights in schools and education, because Democrats crossed over to vote for them.
They did.
Because they agreed with that.
Yep.
Well, on the ballot, that was still on the ballot. That was Glenn Youngkin's big push. Let's get the Senate to the Republicans so we can get my bills passed, so we can get everything here. At the same time, there was this abortion. Right? The abortion rights. Now, they did it right. I believe Virginia did it right. They put it on the ballot. They said, do you agree on abortion? I have not seen the outcome of that, but do you agree abortion should be no more than 15 weeks? Now, I'm hoping it won. I'm hoping. So then, maybe today Virginia has decided that the first state, I believe, in the union that has decided, here is your limit. And it's a limit of 15 weeks, which is what we keep hearing. And I can get on board with that because that's what the people of Virginia voted on. If I live in Indiana and the majority of the people voted to allow it up to term, I would be pissed off all to hell, but it's the way it is, right? That's what I wanted. I wanted the states
to decide. Correct.
And but children's education again got its ass kicked.
It's not resonating. And I think we talked about that when we talked with Tia and Wayne, that we don't think it's not getting the public air. It's not getting the public attention. It's not getting the, why? On purpose. Because the media's not, they know that's a hot topic for parents and moms and soccer moms and all those people that supposedly vote Democrat. I don't know why or how, but at any rate, so they're never going to bring that stuff up. It's not in the forefront of anybody's mind. The education rates, the kids are stupid. The kids are stupid and they're getting worse, right? By the day, unless you're homeschooling them, unless you're taking control over that. But none of that's getting airplay, Jim. It just isn't, because abortion, war, Ukraine. Look over here, right? But don't look here. I mean, we say it all the time, right? That's exactly what's going on. It's crazy. So some top Republicans are calling for the removal of Ronna McDaniel. I guess I'm a top Republican. We are, Jim. We're top Republicans.
And here's what
we feel the same way.
And I know this will never happen.
What?
But one of the beginning things to unify is for President Trump to come out and say that he will support whoever wins the nominee in the Republican Party. But he's not. So now we've got the MAGA Republicans separated. Look, I think the man should be president again. I believe that. I'm questioning whether or not it is going to happen.
Oh my God, they keep parading his family and himself in front of this bogus bullshit jury up in New York.
Remember, all it takes is one.
That's what I'm saying.
90 counts. All it takes is one.
It's unbelievable to me.
And he's not going to plea.
Oh no.
That's why there's so many of these out there, because they want him to plea on one.
To one.
And remember, all that takes. See, told you. It was all fake. They made it up because that's what they've been doing with the other ones. When
that's right, that are playing.
That's not
just
what
playing
they pledged.
Because they're done now. Now it's over.
And
they didn't get in trouble.
But so that's what needs to happen. We need to get some Republican in their leader and sit there and say, meet with President Trump and say, we are losing. Okay, you can sit there. Yeah, you may be looking really good.
He endorsed the guy running for Kentucky governor, and he did not win.
And then some. Okay.
And then some.
And so we look at this stuff and look at all the ones in 2022. The ones that he chose to run in the primaries, the Democrats loved that idea, crossed over to vote for the weak because they knew their person could beat Trump's person.
Because all they had to say was Trump endorsed him, and then people are like, we don't want that guy.
And so, guys, I like President Trump. He did a great job, and I would love to see him as president again.
I do too.
But we need to come together as a Republican Party, and we need to sit there and say, okay, yes, we don't like abortion. We don't want it. However, we got to have access to it.
Yeah,
we've got to. Let's not pay federal. No federal. It can't be paid for that way. But maybe 15 weeks is doable. I would prefer 12.
Guys,
I would prefer 12. But
I would prefer 12. That's 3 months, people. To make your mind up. If you don't know you're pregnant and or if you want the child by that point, then I'm so sorry for you.
I would think most women missing 3 periods
might have an idea.
They might be pregnant.
I don't know. I'm not a woman. We how can we speak to facts like these, Jim?
Now, I will say, I do. Okay, because here's going to be the comment. Well, there is women that have periods that they skip them for a couple. It's just the way their process is.
Ain't ever met one.
And I know some women that they do, and I know some people that tell. Now, again, I don't know directly, but people are telling me that they didn't realize they were pregnant until 7 months.
Come on. What? Who are these people?
Either you're
you know somebody like that?
No, I've had people tell me about that.
Oh, gotcha.
And you hear stories like this too that they didn't realize.
It's like I didn't know until I went into the John, and out came a baby.
Yeah. But that's what the argument's going to be. But come on, guys, let's sit down.
Yeah.
But I know what the liberals are going to say. Haha, we got you. Why would we have to come to the table to negotiate?
Yeah, they don't.
We've got you.
They don't. Yeah, it's correct. And we got a little video we want to show you. All right. Now this just happens to be a Democrat voter in the state of Virginia,
an open-minded one.
But keep in mind, this is your typical liberal voter across. This is who we're dealing with.
Yep.
Okay, so a Republican poll watcher or poll, I don't know, just a pundit for the GOP was outside the polling place handing out sample ballots of the Republican, like here, like they do at every polling place, and was confronted by a Democrat voter. You may have seen this already. It's been around. I mean, only just since yesterday, but I'm just saying that it happened in Virginia. Mm-hmm. This is the video. I apologize ahead of time for the language, but this is your typical liberal, which I speak this language, so I'm not apologizing for that. But I'm saying that this is how your typical liberal.
If you have children listening, have them turn away for just a little bit.
And if you have children listening, what are you doing with listening? Why would you?
We need to educate the children.
Are those the same children they're taking to drag shows? I mean, same parents that are taking children. If they're listening to us, do not. Bad. We recommend you don't have them listen to us. That's all. I mean, it's just, I think people know. But anyways, watch this video. It's crazy.
Fucking people tried to overthrow the election. You might as well have been walking up to my head on the way to the polling station, putting a gun to my head, and trying to tell me not to vote. You expect me not to take that fucking personally? You fucking try to overthrow elections with violence, and then you're out here among decent people.
Thanks for
coming out. What do you have to say that, huh? What's on your policy prescriptions?
Have a nice day. You've already
fucking rapist rights.
Yeah.
Involving yourself in people's fucking families and their fucking bedrooms.
It's pretty wild.
You fucking animal. You try to steal my vote next year, I'm gonna fucking remember you personally.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm taking a fucking picture of you. Is that all right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's a one-party consent state.
Shitbird. Yeah, one-party state. You want a fucking one-party country is what you want.
Hey, sir, how are you? Headed in to vote?
Yeah.
Can I get a Republican sample ballot? Sure, thank you.
Try not to be buddy-buddy with these people because they put on the face of a good neighbor. But they support lynch mobs or the fucking KKK. Or they're fucking Bible-beating bigots and freaks. Yeah, they're not good neighbors.
Jim, that is so the typical whack job.
That's what
liberal thinking out there. Stealing my vote. You tried to steal my vote.
That's what we're up. That's what we're up against.
That's what we're up against. We're up against that mentality. How do you beat that mentality? Besides full, total annihilation and elimination,
which we don't agree to.
We sure don't. I would never recommend getting rid of liberals like that ever in my life. Safety first, Jim.
I mean, if they just happen to step out and get hit by a car, damn.
I don't condone anybody doing that. I would never, ever condone, on purpose that, but accidents happen.
Well, the thing is, we don't have people that'll pay for their bail either. So,
well, that's
where
true.
The left Hollywood.
Well, that's true. We'll bail them out, So yeah, we don't highly recommend you doing that unless you can afford bail.
Well, because the person with the megaphone that killed the Jewish individual, Susan Sarandon, is probably going to put up money to bail him out.
Probably, that guy fell. Jim,
he wasn't swinging. No, he was the Jewish gentleman rammed his head into the megaphone.
In a megaphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's simple.
So
unbelievable.
So go on. I'm sorry.
No, that video that's what we're up against. That's the mentality we are up against. It's absolutely the worst. Congratulations to Tate in Mississippi. He held on. Remember that story we did with that chick who was having sex on camera with her husband, and then they would pay him to do different positions or different acts or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
She might win her race in Virginia. That's too close to call. Too close to call. No. I don't even know how to move in that direction.
I forgot
Maybe
she was from Virginia.
Yeah,
And holy
too close
shit,
to
it is
call.
too close to call.
Now, maybe by the time this is, of course, we record, the night before the show comes out. So if by some chance you're hearing this and it's decided, then we apologize. But right now, as we're recording, too close to call. They're probably reviewing the tapes, Jim.
How good were they? I mean, come on.
Let's see.
Do they follow instructions well?
Yeah. Did she? Yeah.
Were they ones that had those things shoved up their poopers?
Like
with the
fishing
ER?
poles?
The ER.
Like fishing poles and steak knives? I don't know. For the right price, she probably would have. Too close to call, Jim. That's what we're dealing with out here.
Well, but again, it's not. It's the message. Republicans do a bad job of getting message out. The one thing the Democrats do, they do a couple things very well. They get their message out and they stick together. Now, granted, with Rashida Tlaib, they couldn't.
There was some departure there.
Yeah, but
it's for censoring. Nothing happened.
Exactly. Nothing. You don't lose your money. You don't get. Now they had taken her off of, but when I found out she and Omar were on international committees. Really?
Are you kidding me?
That's cool.
Yeah.
And but this is what we're up against because Facebook, no one gets to see these stories because they're told they're false.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm telling you guys, I am scared beyond belief that we will never win another major election ever.
I am too.
Because they will either try to cheat. Or they have way too much journalism behind them to push it to get them over the top. And
I'm too. I am too.
It's scary.
So it makes me think whoever the nominee is for the Republicans in 2024.
You're going to hate me for this. You are going to hate me for this. But I think the Republicans really need to do this. Nikki Haley and Byron Donalds. Because it wouldn't be Tim Scott because they don't like each other right now. But Byron Donalds and they're I know, but she says the right things for women.
Yeah,
she said the right things for abortion.
Say the right thing. She wants Palestinian refugees over
I'm
there.
just
That's
telling
not the right thing.
No.
But not that it matters.
She's not
that
perfect.
People don't care about that.
But it's all. I know I'm going to get inundated with, oh my God, you're crazy. You're crazy. I want Trump as president. All I am saying is because I don't think he's going to be able to run. All right. So maybe we need to start looking. I love Ron DeSantis. I think he would make a great president.
Yes.
But I just don't know how he would do. Nikki Haley, on the other hand, apparently, when men act the way that Nikki Haley acts, they lose ground.
Yeah.
She goes up every time. She does not look presidential. She looks very combative. But her popularity goes up. She head-to-head with Biden wins. And you throw Byron Donald in there?
Says who?
Polls.
Yeah. Same polls that had Virginia going. Bullshit. I don't believe anything. I don't believe a poll to save my life. There's not a single one I believe anymore. I don't care if you're Quinnipiac. I don't care if you're Reuters. I don't believe a single poll ever again.
I'm really at this point right now where in the media is just, they're too big. They're too big.
And I'm not going to bash you for your Nikki Haley bullshit that you're spewing, but I'm
not saying I'm just saying that might be
what are the choices? You got Haley, you got Ramaswamy, which I think would be a great president, by the way. I honestly do. I really do.
Yeah.
You have DeSantis and you have Trump. That's what's happening there. Of course I want Trump.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I'm a DeSantis guy. So
yeah,
but he's polarizing. I know that I know. I get what'll happen.
I still think it's going to be DeSantis and Newsom running. That's my prediction. But I'm just saying Nikki Haley and one of our great black conservatives.
I think Byron Donalds would be great. He's just too fresh, too new.
And he's also pro-Trump, but I personally think Tim Scott would be the right choice. But after a couple of debates,
no, they can't. You can't have two South Carolinas.
Well, they wouldn't get along
with each other.
But we do have other conservative black people out there that I think would be good.
But you're doing it, but you're basing that strictly off skin color. You're doing the same thing that Biden.
I understand. Okay, but
so gender and skin color.
How many times do we have to say fight fire with fire instead of just sitting back and letting people tell us who we are? Okay,
I love this fire.
Or how about Nikki Haley?
Yeah,
and Huckabee Sanders. Holy shit! Would that be a badass duo?
It would be a badass duo. It wouldn't happen, but it would.
Oh no! But duo. God, two women,
would be a good duo.
I would vote for them in a minute. But anyway,
How about Haley and Kristi Noem?
That's a solid. That is also very solid. Very solid.
Chicks rule, man. I mean, come on. I'm telling you right now, and if I piss off all the men out there, if I was starting a company today, from leadership down, it would be a woman in charge. I'm telling you, it would be. Mm-hmm. Not because I'm pandering or I'm saying, and not because I'm just, you're just basing it off gender instead of qualifications. They are meticulous at the shit they do, guys. I mean, you know it. Jim, if you did something 13 years ago to the hour, your wife could tell you what it was that you did wrong.
My wife is not allowed in my office.
Why?
She is way too organized. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You should look at our pantry. That's what I'm saying. Everybody that looks at our pantry like going, wow, that's the most organized pantry.
Yeah, you weren't there, but I've seen. But I've seen your pantry.
Okay. But no, I'm telling
your pantry.
You know what, men?
Yep.
Let's step aside and let's let the women do it.
I don't care.
We can't screw it up anymore.
I mean, who cares? Old white guys, right?
Yeah.
I am all for just getting somebody based on their sex and gender. Their gender and their race.
Wouldn't you love to have to see Iran have to acknowledge a female president of the United States?
Oh, God. Yes.
I would love that. Oh, by the way, just a little hint for you pro-Palestinian people out there, especially for the gays for Palestine.
I got news for you.
Go over there and see what happens.
This just in. They kill you there.
Did you see Babylon B again had a story about a white supremacist was standing there and a pro-Palestinian, and it said it took them a while, but they realized, we agree on the same thing.
We hate gays, right?
And
Jews.
And
Jews. Oh, and Jews. That's right. But gays, gay, go ahead. Transgender, you love it? You love it so much? It's the one thing I wish I would have asked Patricia on there when right at the end she started bashing Florida. That's why we didn't get into it. Yeah. But I was like, why do you live there? Yeah. Just get up and leave. Anyways, folks, we got to move on. We got. Let's make these quick, Jim.
They're quick. Yes.
Congresswoman has something to say to our good friends in the black community.
This, guys, okay. A House Democrat suggested Sunday that black Americans are moving away from President Joe Biden and toward former President Donald Trump because they are unable to understand civics.
What?
Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas. By the way, she's black. Appeared on CNN's State of the Union, where she spoke about new polling from the New York Times that shows Biden is in big trouble in head-to-head matchups in a series of crucial swing states. You so eloquently went over that last time. The survey, which was released just 1 year before voters head to the polls, showed Biden struggling mightily in swing states and also showed him struggling with black voters. Former Obama administrator David Axelrod was among those who suppress anxiety about the poll's finding. So Americans are all dealing with the consequences, of the last election. Life is expensive. Illegal immigrants are taking over large swaths of communities, and the president appears determined to drag the country into another world war. Black Americans are equally as affected as by the inept White House as every other voting demographic. But Crockett did not appear to as though she was willing to entertain the idea that her own community is also suffering under the cost-prohibitive Bidenomics. Okay, before I go into this, you and I have said this many times. Mm-hmm. The problem with the black communities is not us, is not white people, it is your own black Democrat leaders.
Yep.
If you realize you could be successful in this country, they lose everything.
They do.
So they have to keep you down. They have to keep this racism in here. And this is just another example of it. So she instead strongly implied that more black Americans are ready to walk away from Democrats and their dangerous spending habits because they're not intelligent enough to see what's best for them.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
So Dale,
I mean,
what do you think?
Stupid, right? Because they're stupid.
I
mean, they can't understand civics.
Yeah. Now, we did meet a couple people down in Philadelphia. We met a number of black racist skinheads.
Yes.
Anyway,
white supremacists.
There was a joke there, guys. When we were down there, they were being
black,
accused
white
of it.
supremacists. That's right. Yeah.
They're white supremacists, and they're clearly black. But anyway, there's a lot of intelligent black people out there, and I even believe there's a large majority of intelligent black people. I'm just calling them ignorant right now because they don't know what's best for them. And they're going to keep listening to these leaders like this idiot out there who insulted them. Yeah. Right. And, but there you go, Dale. So
Jim, I'm guessing you can't see me. Am I right? Did I disappear?
I can't what?
You can't see me?
No.
Did I disappear?
Yes.
Okay. I could tell by the way you're looking that I'm no longer on your screen. Folks, it doesn't record that way, but it happens because of Cox cable and Wi-Fi. Yep. Jim, you can hear me though, right?
Yeah. Oh, I can hear you fine.
No, that's good. Well, I'm right over here. Can you see me? I'm right over here.
I'll look at that little dot on the
Yeah, that's it.
That's on the
that's
screen.
Where I
there you
should
go.
be.
See, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I can tell now. But when you're not, I can tell you're looking down, you're looking around. It's very uncomfortable for you when I disappear, isn't it, Jim?
I don't know what to do.
You're almost lost without seeing my beautiful face.
I miss you.
I miss you. Jim, we'll go on. I know I'll come back because that always happens. Yep. But anyways, folks, something in the Biden infrastructure bill that you may or may not know about.
I have not heard.
And you may have heard about it, but it's, I think, somewhat alarming. Do you know, Jim, and have you heard this, by the year 2026, every vehicle will be mandatory, will have a kill switch in it. Have you heard that?
Oh, what?
A kill switch. So it can be shut down whenever, and it's to combat impaired drivers, maybe stop a criminal, or maybe stop a Republican. I don't know.
I was just going to say that. Now, there are a lot of cars that do that because you see it where somebody will steal a car and, what is it, low jack
OnStar or something like that, or one of those things. Right. But every one of these, and it was hidden in the infrastructure.
Everyone built or?
Well, Jim, one of the most concerning things we've heard so far is the revelation that this infrastructure bill includes a measure mandating vehicle backdoor kill switches in every car by 2026. So every car.
Manufactured, or every car even manufactured before that?
Well, the clause is intended to increase vehicle safety by passively monitoring the performance of a driver of a motor vehicle to accurately identify whether that driver may be impaired. And that sentence doesn't make your hair stand on end. You're not thinking about the implications here. Let us spell it out for you. By 2026, vehicles sold in the US will be required to automatically and silently record various metrics of driver performance and then make a decision, absent any human oversight, whether the owner will be allowed to use their own vehicle. Even worse, the measure goes on to require that the system be open to remote access by authorized third parties at any time.
Oh, I trust that. Are we going to subsource that to India?
Hello, Mr. Jim. You are not driving well. You will be shut up. The passage in the bill was unearthed by former Georgia Representative Bob Barr, writing over at the Daily Caller. Barr notes correctly that this is a privacy disaster in the making. Not only does it make every vehicle a potential telltale, possibly reporting minor traffic infractions like slight speeding or forgetting your seatbelt to authorities or insurance companies, but tracking that data also makes it possible for bad actors to retrieve it. So that's kind of where I want to get into. So yes, can they shut it down? Can they do that? I have a nice little article here from a professional hacker. Okay. Somebody who hacks into systems.
Kind of what worries me.
So here's how he wants to lay it out. So let's see here. We have a trend where a third party is in control of an item a citizen has purchased. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else is in control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not somebody else you're paying a loan off to, but somebody's physically in control of that item. These items all have the ability to connect or be interacted remotely. So they all have that ability. The security behind these remote connections is constantly being bypassed. The mandatory compliance in place is lacking. Severe understatement, hence the constant bypassing. Companies are more interested in control and money rather than security. Law enforcement has the ability to interact with these devices, but doesn't have the funding to field a proper police force, much less the funding to have proper cybersecurity. Almost no privacy laws that protect you or the information that is being collected and transmitted from the item you've purchased. That's all what may or may not happen. So let's keep in mind here, and he goes on by saying things hackers did just this year. Lapsus claimed impressive hacking victories. That's the name of the against some of the world's largest companies like Microsoft, NVIDIA, Samsung, Rockstar Games, and a slew of other major tech companies. Uber was hacked. LA school district suffered a crippling ransomware attack. The state of California accidentally doxed every single legal gun owner in the state. And of course, Lodge4j. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. Of what we do know about. Yet here we are effectively daring any and all hackers around the globe to not try and brick your $1 million combine or enact a kill switch on a group of cars on the Golden Gate Bridge. Mm-hmm. If we as a society took security seriously and had controls and monitoring in place, along with privacy laws that protected people, then this wouldn't be as alarming of an issue. We, however, lack the vast majority of controls that would enable this to even work remotely well. Let's forget about the issue about if we buy something, do we even own it? Although I still really think that is important. I'll finish here. We collectively aren't willing to secure basic common things. For God's sakes, counties all over the country leave courthouse windows open in the summer. We've broken into high security facilities by breaking off a leaf from a plant literally outside the door, sticking it through the door and waving it around. I have had one of the largest cloud providers tell me, so the cloud where everything's stored, not the rain clouds, Jim. Mm-hmm. I know you're not very technologically advanced, so I wanted to explain that to you. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure. I had one of the largest cloud providers tell me I wasn't able to use Nmap for presenting because it was a hacker tool and unallowed. or any hacker tools and then expect me to pass them for a FedRAMP certification. I've had over 80% success rate for phishing at companies with over 10,000 employees that house some very important data for other large important companies. Also keep in mind the casino hack that just happened recently with MGM and everywhere else.
Yep.
So you keep all this in mind, and you have a hacker that's saying there's no security around any of this. There's no way anybody could go in anybody, hackers in general can go in and stop cars in their tracks if they so choose to, and then not stop some cars in their tracks if they choose to.
There's that.
So what does that do? Yep. Right? Jim, am I back? Can you see me?
Yeah, I've been watching you.
Oh, I can't tell. Anyways, that's been hidden in the infrastructure bill, Jim, and I just thought it was very interesting because what could possibly go wrong?
One of my favorite shows was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds did an episode of this. Where
did they? Criminal Minds was good until Mandy Patinkin left, and it got pretty dog shit. So
he left after the second season, Dale.
Yep, that's when it became dog shit. Because who did they hire, Jim?
Yeah,
who did they
replace
him with? What's his name? Joe Montagna.
Joe Montagna.
One of the most terrible actors that's ever walked the face of the earth.
We liked
how he's got jobs on.
We liked him as Rossi, so it was pretty good.
Anyway. Terrible.
But there was an episode of that. But yeah, folks. So that's serious shit. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean,
well, right now, you know what cities are doing to help with car theft? What are those drops? Apple drops, airdrops, or whatever?
Oh, those airdrops.
Yeah, they're going to give free airdrops to people to put in their cars,
so they can follow them home and rob their homes.
well, no. So instead of stopping the criminals,
yeah,
we're just going to make it easier to find your car when they
find your car. But
no, it may be stripped.
Sex traffic. They're using them on young girls' cars.
I know.
I mean, it's just technology is not. This is not working, people. And now by 2026, every car is going to have a kill switch on it. What the hell? I'm not for that.
No,
I understand trying to stop a vehicle in a deadly pursuit and things. I mean, I stop sticks, people. They still work. So stop sticks work. Let's try those still. Jim, or a good pit maneuver. I mean, those are all going to go away, Jim. I love those.
It's terrible. Yeah,
it's terrible. Anyways, that's all I got for today. And Jim's got one more thing talking about military raising the minimum age.
Maximum.
What is this about?
Not minimum, maximum. Sorry.
Oh, maximum age. I'm sorry. I thought you said minimum age. Okay.
So, Dale.
Yeah.
When you were 42 years old.
Well, it's a long time ago, Sonny.
I can't remember it either. But would you have thought, I want to go in the military?
Well, again,
I was 18 and I
decided.
I was 18 and decided I didn't want to go in the military.
Yeah,
no way I was going to go 40. But anyway.
Yeah, 42. Now,
okay, so they're raising the maximum age from 39 to 42 in the Air Force. Okay?
In the Air Force?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we did a story on that maybe.
And
didn't we?
Folks, when people do that, there's a couple things at play here. One, we have nobody that wants to be in the military because of what's going on right now.
Oh, correct.
And I'm going to get into the other reason why.
Okay.
The U.S. military has a major recruitment issue under President Joe Biden. Yes, as part of an effort to get more people to join the Air Force, military officials last month quietly raised the maximum age enrollment from 39 to 42. I thought 39 was kind of old. But anyway, the updated age criteria affect both officer and enlisted ranks in the Air Force and Space Force. The Air Force made this change to align with Department of Defense policy. Leslie Brown, the chief public affairs for the Air Force Recruiting Service, told military.com. This opens aperture to allow more Americans the opportunity to serve. That's why they're doing it.
You think that? Oh, they want more opportunity. Not because people aren't or retiring.
Even though the reservists are not the reservists, but the recruitment has dropped.
Yes.
A lot. Okay.
Well, because there's no patriotism.
So the Air Force recently discharged 12 members from the delayed entry program who aged out due to the processing timeline. Recruiters will be contacting them and others who maybe have left processing due to age, so they can come back. Okay. The new rules come into effect nearly a month after the Air Force confirmed it had fallen short of its active duty, and we did a story on this a while back.
Yeah.
Now, the Army, Air Force, and Navy all fare short of their recruitment goals for fiscal year 2023. The Air Force new strategy has been used by other military branches, including the Navy, which raised its maximum enlistment age from 39 to 41 in November of 2022. Navy officials admitted the change was made to widen the pool of potential recruits, creating opportunities for personnel who wish to serve but were previously unable to due to age.
Oh, my God.
The recruitment challenges faced by the U.S. military are linked to a waning enthusiasm and suitability for service among key age group for enlistment. A 2020 study found that approximately 77% of Americans ages 17 to 24 would not qualify for service without special exemptions. Specifically, the report indicated that 11% of this age cohort would be disqualified solely based on their weight.
Oh.
What else do you think that would be significant, Dale?
What, the weight issue?
No, because remember, that only did 12%.
That only did 12%.
11%, excuse me.
Gender?
17 to 24.
17 to 24.
They can't pass the entry exam.
Physically or the mental?
The test.
Well, gee. Well, because abortion's the most important thing in this country.
They
can't pass
our
it.
Our government is not talking about that. That
those little
ages
shits are allowed
17
to vote at
to 24.
Yeah.
Which was normally the primal age for your military.
Sure.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Are overweight.
Well, okay.
They
I get
can't
that.
pass the physical test.
Correct.
And they also can't pass the acuity test.
Oh, come on.
These individuals can't pass high school. And we've seen these statistics, right? We have seen these out. We and I'm trying to get in our friend Paige Miller, one of the speeches she gave of an event that I was at, showed that school graduation rates at 98, 96%.
Bullshit.
But as an 8th grade, there is like 56% proficiency in English and math.
Mm-hmm.
So are we trying to think that the high school teachers are that good that they catch them up? And no, folks, our kids are stupid.
Yeah.
Because we're more concerned about reading bad books to them, or we're more concerned about convincing them how to become the opposite gender because you're feeling a little different, right? This is what's important. Our military is suffering because our kids coming out of high school are too damn stupid to pass the freaking tests.
Well, that and our military is suffering because they had to up it as well because they lost so many when they tried to force the vaccines into every single one of them. You know, so many retired early or they left, and it was, you know, so there's all sorts of reasons. But yeah, you're right.
We did not have these problems 4 years ago.
We did not.
So thank you for you idiots out there who think there's no way cheating could have happened in this country. There is no way. That man got 81 million votes.
Bullshit.
Seriously?
Nope.
The great one. He got twice as many votes as the great one.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. Nobody believes it. Nobody believes it. Hey, Virginia just elected a transgender to their state senate as well. So
there's going to be a
well, if there's 100 people, okay, let's do it. And they hire it, and there's one, that's 1%.
Yep.
That's 1% of the population. So
you know, I have different ways to prove that you're not transphobic or homophobic or racist.
Yeah.
Don't elect stupid people.
Just don't elect stupid people.
We elected Barack Obama because there was a number of white people that wanted to say, see, I'm not racist. I'm voting for this inexperienced idiot who knows nothing about running a country. I'm going to vote for him.
Up against McCain, though. Let's be honest. The Republicans sure didn't throw up a good fight there.
I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to prove I'm not racist. Hey, guys, I don't assume anyone's racist. I don't like the guy because he's an idiot and he was terrible for this country. He was
He's
great
un-American.
for the Muslim
He doesn't care.
population over in the Middle East. He was
Great.
great for
Absolutely.
them.
Absolutely.
Horrible for us and everyone else around us. But
he's the luckiest son of a bitch on earth. I'll tell you why. He got to go against McCain and Romney. I mean, come on. You know, you could have beat McCain and Romney.
Sadly. Well, you know what, though? It's not too late. I'm still saying 2 guy, 1 coup ticket. You president,
I am too.
I'll be your vice president.
Let's do it. Let's throw it. You're right. It's not too late. We got to get our names on ballots, though. So we need your help, people.
Right in.
Following, liking, and sharing, and all that stuff on Rumble, right?
Pass it around. We've just
Pass
announced.
it around.
Maybe with enough time, we can qualify for the debate tonight.
Yeah, folks. Guess what? We won't. Yeah, we're not going to have a debate special. Who knows? Maybe. Friday. It depends on what happens.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. If we were on that stage debating and they started fighting, I would literally say, "Shut the F up."
That's exactly what I would say.
Let's get back to the topic at hand. Yeah. I know you think that guy's an idiot. We get it.
That's fine.
What is your differences in what you're going to do, what they're going to do, which there isn't a whole lot of difference.
Well, this one's going to be speaking of abortion, this one's going to be one of those anyways, because it's, isn't it an NBC? Isn't that where it's?
Yeah, but Hugh Hewitt at least is going to be on the panel.
Yeah. So. Will be.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't bring George Will out.
Oh, God.
I think they could have found a better conservative.
I know.
Like maybe Tucker Carlson or something.
Oh, sure.
Wouldn't that have been something?
That'd have been something.
Yeah. So NBC, if you want to prove to me that you guys are, because how you got this, I will never know. I can't wait to hear the questions.
Oh, I can't either.
I especially on Palestine and Israel, because that's going to be foreign.
Especially that, but I'm going to tell you what, I bet you it now focuses on what happened in Virginia, what happened in Kentucky, the referendum now is going to be abortion.
Win it.
Is it going to be Nikki Haley?
Yep.
It's going to be Nikki Haley because she's the only one who's saying those words, which I know you and I don't agree with, but it's common sense, right? Mm-hmm. More so than you just got to be able to deflect and you're right. Should go to every state if they want 15 weeks. That's fine. Moving on now. Let's talk about what affects my
and pocket. That's what needs to happen. That's what you need to say.
I mean,
every
it's enough
state
already.
Should allow abortion up to a certain level. Move on.
Fine. Yeah, that's what you do.
Move on. Here's what I'm going to do for the economy.
Here's what I'm going to do to make sure people can afford to live day to day. So
give people
Jim,
their money
I'm
back.
so mad.
Because remember, was it in 2024? Don't the President Trump's tax cuts disappear? Is it 2024
or 26? I'm not quite sure which one.
Oh, I thought it was 2024, but
could have been 2024. You might be right, Jim. I don't know.
But anyway, no one's talking about that.
No, because it's how late are we allowed to kill a baby? That's the only thing that matters in this.
See, guys,
how late can we kill
I
this
have
kid?
to admit, all the arguments that I had on Facebook with people that I know regarding this about I realized there was people that were very animated about it and had a very high stance on it. And I am surprised to this day that it had something to do so far with the midterms in 2022. I guess I underestimated because I thought the economy is going to win out over this every time. The border is going to win out over this every time.
Yes.
Because the border adds you not only border, but you've got sex trafficking. You got all of this stuff going around, and you have fentanyl coming in.
Yeah.
I never in my life would I have thought the number one thing right now in the United States of America is abortion, far and above anything else out there.
Yeah.
Children's education, everything. And that's what Virginia in the midterms did. And folks, it's because the stance on abortion.
So, you could blame the Republicans for not being able to deflect from that message. You could blame the Democrats for blame or have them take credit because they get the message out. Of course, none of this would have happened without a conservative Supreme Court in place. Yep. So, guys, I don't know. Where would we be if they never have done that? What would have happened?
I will never disagree with making it a state's choice.
I will not
always
either.
believe that. I always think more things need to be a state choice.
This is what we're paying for right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because of that, this is what happened. Now, look, even if I could sit down a bunch of idiots, okay, Democrat voters, and sit them in a room and explain to them what the Supreme Court did.
Yeah.
It didn't take away your right to abortion.
It didn't.
It took the federal right to abortion because states had their own anyway.
They had their own anyways, regardless of Roe versus Wade.
Right. Yeah, and then the states had their own, right? So, look, you can if you are 8 months, 3 weeks into your pregnancy, and you want to go to California because you decide I can't afford this baby. You can go to California and have it aborted. I call that murder.
But true. Sad but true.
At some point in time, it's murder. Okay?
Yeah.
So just because it's still in the womb.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove you up Hillary Clinton's vaginal area.
You can fit a whole crowd of people up there.
I
imagine.
And then people can kill you. Because I don't care. I'm sorry.
My God.
That's a bad example.
God.
But anyway.
Jim, just the smell alone, it just gets me.
Oh, by the way,
Jim,
Babylon B had a Hillary's yard. Wondered when they were going to take all the decorations because there are all these bodies.
The Halloween decoration. That's classic. That's super classic.
I love the Babylon Bee.
I do too.
Anyway, so again, not to go too much into it, but it is what it is, folks. Abortion's the thing right now. I mean,
it's the thing.
People care about
Democrats
that more than
media.
So all of these polls out there that say the economy is number one,
it's not.
It's not.
They proved it last night.
Yep.
It is not.
And it's because the media is not being honest.
Nope. Jim, big news. Yeah. Some good interviews coming next week, folks.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Good ones.
Especially,
stay tuned for that.
Regarding a movie.
It would have been this week, but the schedules were super busy for old Jimmy there and stuff, and so it just didn't work out that way. But they will be next week. Wait till you hear it, and we will announce them then.
Can't wait.
Until then, please like, follow, and share on Rumble. You can follow us and like us and everywhere. Hear us on Apple and Spotify and Spotify for podcasters and Stitcher and everywhere out there. So please do that. Don't forget to support like Women Fighting for America and True to Vote and our good friend at Freedom Ring Tees and all that. There's a lot out there to support. We just can't. We can't thank them enough. Moms for Liberty, get involved with that because we need to get these messages out there and get it deflected away from this whole abortion.
And I think more importantly,
folks.
this show needs to end with Natasha Owen's version of Star Spangled Banner.
Yep. So let's do it. So stay tuned
she's
for that.
She's given us permission. So
stay tuned for that. We've done it before.
Yep.
This is Natasha Owens. Find her stuff at natashaowensmusic.com.
Pray for
we should end with the Star Spangled Banner because we need it. We need it today.
Pray for our country.
Yep. Pray for our country. Folks, have a good weekend. Jim, you have a good weekend as well. And we will see you all next week. Jim, I say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you. Bye.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes